Now here's a trick that also the other video that I learned from. Before you send this off and you move on to the next DXF file. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do is save this as a template. We're going to hit File, Save As, Save to Hard Drive. Now the reason why we're doing this and we're saving a template for the DXF file now is a Cameo Studio file is because we only want to score the mountain and valley fold lines, and we want to cut the edges. We're going to be doing this for an entire armor piece. We're going to be doing this for any Pepakura files that we have. So the settings are always going to be the same. For every single page that we import, we want the exact same settings every single time. We don't want to create those settings every single page because sometimes we're dealing with hundreds, sometimes even thousands of pages of files that we have to go through, and to constantly go through and change the settings over here every single page, we don't want to do that. So that's why what we want to do, again, we're saving this template as, we want a place where we can actually remember to keep it. And I've already created one, so I titled mine blank template. Blank template. And we click save, and there we go. Now, instead of actually printing this out, we're going to close it out. I'm going to discard all. No, I don't want to save any of that. And here's why. Let's go ahead and find that Cameo Studio blank template that we just created. Blank template.studio3. Let's open that one up. But take a look. Now remember, when we first opened the Silhouette Studio, it was a big blank 12-inch by 12-inch page that we needed to adjust. When we open up the blank template, look at this. This is exactly the settings that we had before. Okay, so it has all of the designs, and it will even have our cut options, which we will see in just a moment. So now we actually want to go back and take a look at our cod and butt pieces. Now we're going to do the same thing as we did before, but now we have a template that we're going to go ahead and use, and this is why it's beneficial. So we're going to go do the first 6. So I'm going to click and drag number 1. I'm going to move it exactly where I need it to be. Now I already know the dimensions. Actually, this top kind of 4x4 square line on the outer edge, this is exactly where I'm going to be, I need to be. If you're ever unsure of, am I going to be within the lines, again, upper right hand side under page setup, click this registration mark icon, the style from off, go to the Cameo Portrait Curio, and just make sure, give it a once over. Okay, it looks like the red lines are here, and all of my images are within those lines. Okay, good. I'm going to switch that off. Another thing you want to make sure before you do anything about and checking to see if the cut settings are there, lower right hand corner, tools, import. Is it importing as is? Because we saved our template, remember from before, yes, it is opening as is, so the file size does not change. You're not going to come out with a wonky small cod piece in this case. So again, just double check. If you're ever unsure, again, tools, import, make sure the DXF here is as is every single time. Okay, now that it's positioned where we want, we know that it was imported as is. Again, upper right hand corner, just to make sure that our cut settings are still there and accurate. Valley fold, score. The mountain fold is score. The cut line is cut. We are only going to need to do this once. Okay, again, I'm double checking here. The red valley folds or blue valley folds, whichever you labeled it, red or blue, as long as it's the valley and mountain, it doesn't really matter. The settings are here. We've got the blade length 1, force 1, pass 1. Great, just like our template, this is exactly how we want it. So everything is set up and good to go. Do not hit send. Don't do it. What you do instead, this is all part of the prep work, file, save as, save as hard drive, sorry, save to hard drive. We're going to find where we save the DXF crotch and butt plate. There we go. So this is the folder that we had the DXF files. We're now saving the Studio 3 files. Remember, don't save it as a blank template. Since this is page 1 of your file, we want to type cod and butt 01. Okay. So that just saved. Now we want to do this for the second one. Okay, so what we want to go ahead and do is actually delete this image. So we're going to click on this, delete the image. Now we're going to go on to the second page. Here we go. Click, drag, move it to where you need it. Again, you can check just to make sure you're within the lines. If you're within the lines, great. Off. Now again, because this is still the same template that we're using, you don't need to go back and check and make sure that this is all there. We've already done the footwork. Again, if you want to make absolutely sure, you can this time going forward, but not necessary. So now that we have page 2, the picture here, we're ready to go. Again, don't send it. Don't send it to the machine. We're going to save it as. We're going to save it as cod and butt 2. Okay, and so it's saving. Now we're going to delete it. We're going to click on the image, delete it again. I just hit the delete key on my keyboard. We're going to go back. We're going to go to page 3. Click and drop. Okay, so again, we have that error where it didn't actually take. So we're going to click, drag and drop again. Okay. So I know this is exactly where I need to have it. Control save as. Now I know I could hit Control Shift S, but that actually is a function on my screen recorder, so I can't actually hit Control Shift S. So again, cod and butt 3, relabeling it. Okay, so it's saving. Good. I'm going to click on that, click delete, go back to the DXF, click and drag the next one, which is page 4, drag and drop. Again, drag and drop. Move it to where you need it. Awesome. Save as. Rename it to page 4. That's what we just dropped in. Hit OK. Click it. delete it, move on to page 5. Alright, oof. Okay, just barely touching the lines again, just to make absolutely sure. Okay, within the lines, good. Turn this back off, registration mark here. File, save as, save to hard drive. Retitle this, as we can see, it's page 5. We just dragged and dropped in there. Good. Click, delete it, go back to your folder again. Final page, drag, drop, move it to where you need it. Looks good. File, save as, save to hard drive. Change that to number 6. Okay. And we are done.